So for the first preview of the new catalog edition of Project Parade, we have a great little packet of note cards that you can give someone, and these actually are birthday cards, and so there are 4 birthday cards in here, and you also have the matching envelope. And we've made this out of designer series paper, and you'll see the video below which will show you exactly how to do that. And these fit in here, and you can then load them up and give them away as a gift. So there are 4 note cards in all, and you make up the little packet and put a belly band around it. So let's get started. So to get started with this project, you are going to need 6x6 page protectors, 2 of them, and these are retiring, so you want to hurry up and purchase these because they are very useful for lots of different projects. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off this little edge here that would go in the scrapbook, so that I'm just leaving myself with a pocket. The next thing that you're going to do is take sticky strip and put it around all 4 sides of your pocket. Once you have your sticky strip on both of your pockets, you're just going to put those aside for now, and you're going to work on the base of the project. These are 2 pieces of Sahara sand in 6.5 by 12. So I'm using my score tool for this, and the first piece I'm going to score at 5, and then I'm going to score it again at 5.5. The next piece, which is also 6.5 by 12, I am first going to score at 6.5, and then I'm going to score it at 7, and finally at 9.5. And this is going to be the base of my project. You're going to take your bone folder and you're going to crisp those score lines because you want this project to stay nice and neatly together. So this little flap here, you're going to put some sticky strip here, and then you're going to adhere it. Once you have the sticky strip on, you're going to press that to adhere it, and then you're going to take this piece here, and as you can see, it doesn't go all the way across, but I want the backing to be nice and neat. So I'm going to adhere it by lining up these edges, and then that's going to give me this piece with a seam here. So once I have my sticky strip, I'm going to very carefully line up the seam so that I can adhere my project together. Once you have this part of the project adhered, you can then go ahead and take your pockets and peel off the sticky strip and adhere them. Just make sure that when you do this that you know which side has the opening, because you want the opening toward the top. Once you've removed your sticky strip, you're going to carefully line these up so that they fit on your page, and then just press them down and do the same thing for the other one. Once your pockets are in, you're going to take your 6x6 pieces of designer series paper and just slip those right into the pocket so that when your cards go in, this will be a nice backing. Next, you're going to adhere your designer series paper to one of your chocolate chip backings, and then that's going to go on the front of your project. So once you have your adhesive on the back, you're going to line this up on the front of your project and adhere. Next, you're going to take a piece of designer series paper and border it on some chocolate chip, and then adhere it here to your flap. Once the front of your project is decorated, you're going to flip it over, and you're just going to take a piece of chocolate chip and you're going to center that right there on the back. And all these layers are going to give nice stability to your project. Now, I'd like to have these strips here reinforced as well. So I'm going to take 2 little strips of cardstock, and I'm just going to apply some adhesive, and this is just going to make your project even stronger. Once your outline is done, you're going to put this aside and get started on your cards. So all of my cards are going to be scored in half. This is 5 1/4 by 10 1/2, scored at 5 1/4. And then I'm going to layer a piece of cardstock right on top, and this is 5 by 5. And then I cut a piece of Designer Series paper, 5 by 3, and I'm going to layer that on there as well. I took a little strip of ribbon, and I'm going to tuck that behind my project. And I just do that by putting a little piece of snail and then wrapping that ribbon around. Once that's done, I'm going to then adhere this to the front of my card. I'm going to do the same thing with another corresponding pattern, and I'm going to put that right here on the front of my card. And I'm going to use a brown ribbon. This is chocolate chip as well, but it's a different pattern. This is our polka dot ribbon, and I'm just going to do the same thing and wrap that right around there so that I'm covering the seam of my project. And I'll adhere this to the Not Quite Navy card that I've prepared. Once I have those two done, I'll move on to my chocolate chip cards, which I am bordering with Sahara Sand. Again, just line up my DSP, get myself a ribbon, put a little bit of snail behind, wrap the ribbon around, and then adhere this to the front of your card. Once all of my cards are assembled, I can move on to my greetings. And what I have done is I have stamped several different greetings from the Perfect Punches stamp set and then the Wish Big from Bring On the Cake. And I've done that in Not Quite Navy and a couple of them in chocolate chip. I'm going to use the punches that correspond to the images. This is the extra large oval. I'll punch out Happy Birthday. This is the scalloped oval. I'm going to punch out my thanks. The curly label does my friend. And then for the Wish Big, I'm going to be using my 1 3/4 inch punch. And I'll just line that up over there and punch it out. Now to border my punch, I'm just going to use the 2 3/8 inch scallop circle. And I'm going to punch that out. And I'm going to adhere the image right there on top. And then I'm going to go over to my card and I'm going to adhere that right on top. So there's your first birthday card. Next, to do these images, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scrap of chocolate chip cardstock and I'm going to punch out the labels that I've just used. Once I have those labels punched out, what I'm going to do is take my paper snips and I'm going to cut that label in half. Okay? Then I'm going to take some snail and put it on the back of the image that I've just stamped. And then I'm going to reassemble it, but I'm going to split this apart just so that it's slightly bordering my image. And that's a great way to provide a border with the same size punch. So once I have that on there, I'm going to put some snail on the back, and I'm then going to adhere this right to the front of my project. For the other two, I'm going to do the same thing. Just cut that apart, put some adhesive on the back of my original image, line this up, and then go on to the top and do the same thing. And then once you have it assembled, put some snail on the back of it, put that right there on your project, and move on to the last one. And for this oval, I'm not going to split it apart. I'm just going to put it a little to the side of it. So you'll just have a little bit of it peeking out. And then I'll assemble that one. And so I have my 4 cards that are going to slip into the project. So you're going to just put these in the envelopes. And then we're going to make an envelope for each of the cards. Okay, now for the belly band, we're going to take 2 pieces of cardstock. One is 1.5 by 8.5. You're going to score it at 2 and 2.5, and then you're going to take a piece that is 1.5 by 11, and you're going to score it at 2.5, 3, 9.5, and 10. Next, you're going to put your adhesive on the belly band so that you can attach it to your project. So the first thing I'm going to do is put adhesive on the back here. Now, I like to apply the adhesive while the belly band is wrapped around the project so that I can get a perfect fit. I'm then going to line up my first piece, and this is not as crucial as the second piece. Now, once you do this one, that's your belly band and you're stuck with it. So be very careful when you do this part. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the first piece around and put a little bit of adhesive on it. You're going to line that up so that it all matches on the front. And then for this little piece back here, you're then going to put adhesive on here as well. And then just wrap that around your project. And so that's going to give you your belly band, which you can then decorate as you like. What I've done for this one is I'm taking the happy birthday, because this is going to be used as a birthday gift for someone, and I'm going to adhere that to my block. I'm going to stamp it in Not Quite Navy ink onto very vanilla cardstock. I'm going to punch it out using my large oval, and I'm going to use my 2 3/8 inch scallop circle, punch out a piece of Not Quite Navy cardstock, and then I'm going to adhere the happy birthday to the cardstock. And then to get this onto my belly band, I'm going to put a piece of adhesive right across the back, but you want to be careful that you don't overshoot the belly band. You want to make sure that there's no adhesive underneath here. So here is your belly band. When you open this up, you have your cards and your envelopes inside, and it makes for a great gift. So I hope you enjoyed your first preview of the new catalog edition of Project Parade at StampAcademy.com. Restrictions prohibit us from showing you new product on video, but we are going to be showing you some great previews, and June 1st we will begin showing the brand new Stampin' Up! Product. So if you like what you see, come over to StampAcademy.com and join us for the new catalog edition. And if you have any questions for us, you can always reach us at mail@StampAcademy.com.